Hi everyone, welcome to Nana's Tiny Kitchen. Today we're going to be making some Spanish style pork chops with a side of rice and beans. Now I don't know if any of you have ever traveled to say Costa Rica or Puerto Rico or even the Dominican Republic or any place in the Caribbean. Almost every restaurant that you go to has rice and beans, and it's basically it looks like chili without the meat kind of thing. But every restaurant has its own flavor, so it's all a little bit different. When we were in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago, actually last January we were in Puerto Rico. But every place you go and you order food, they give you rice and beans. So I want to make that for you, but first let's get these pork chops started. All right, first of all, I put a little olive oil on each one of these pork chops. Now, if you're making more, then just up the recipe a little bit. But these are two beautiful, nice sized pork chops. So I have the Goya sazon, which I'm going to, because it's only two pork chops, I'm only going to use maybe a half of a packet of this. You know what? It would help if I put my glasses on because I can't see anything. All right. Yeah, we're going to use a little bit of this. And these pork chops, after I'm done with all the seasonings, are going to marinate in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. I mean, if you rush for time, you could push it to 1 hour, but I prefer 2 hours at least. Now I got some onion powder, maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon, some paprika. Now I'm going to, where's my grate grater. Wait a minute, I used it this, oh, here you go. A nice large clove of garlic. I'm going to grate it right up. One thing in Spanish style cooking and even Italian cooking, there's always a lot of flavor, which translates to a lot of garlic. Now we're going to get all this mixed and mushed around. I need some black pepper. If you're shaking it out, black pepper, a little less than a 1/4 teaspoon. A little bit of salt because the sazon already has salt in it. Now I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to rub this in. I'm going to go both sides. I want to give it a nice rub on both sides. Oh, it gives it such magnificent flavor. Oh. Like I said before in my other videos, there are no vampires on my block. We use a lot of garlic. Garlic is good for you. Okay, and these are nice and coated. Massage that in there really good. I'll give my hands a rinse. Cover this with saran wrap and put it in the refrigerator. Okie dokie. Come on, saran wrap, cooperate. There we go. Cover. And I'm going to set my timer so I know when to pull them out. I'm going to set it for about 50 minutes because I'm going to take them out 10 minutes before just to let them sit, get to room temperature for about 10-15 minutes before I start frying them up. Okay, in you go. Hold it. I did that wrong, didn't I? Should be 1 hour and 15 minutes, not 50 minutes. Really? 1 hour and 50 minutes. Okay. Now I'm going to start on this, how to make the beans. Right here I have some green peppers, red peppers, onions, and some cloves of garlic. Now we're going to make like a homemade version of like a sofrito. This I could grate right in here. I'm going to put this in my processor and get it all chopped up. So till it forms like a paste. I meant to buy Sofrito the last time I was in the market and I didn't do it. And so now I have to kind of put it together. I mean, basically, since it's going into the processor, I really didn't even have to chop that. All right. Okay, let me get my stuff out and then we'll start doing the sofrito. Okay, here we go. We're going to make our sofrito. Now, you can certainly buy the one in the supermarket. It's just fine. I wish I had, because sometimes it's a pain because I'm only using it for this, so it's kind of hard to gauge how much of what. But, you know, you can always put it in the freezer and keep it in the refrigerator for future use. Okay, wait, before I start mushing it up, wait a minute. I got my peppers, my onions, and my garlic in here. And now I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of cilantro. I like to use the fresh cilantro. I just don't have any. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to get all this up. So it forms a nice paste. There you go. Smells delicious. Okay, in this pot that I have heated up, I'm going to add my beans. Now feel free, I'm using Goya's small red beans. My mom used to use pink beans. You can use kidney beans, but I gave these a good rinse. These are the small Goya red beans, and I'm going to put them right in the pot. I'm going to add my... This is 8 ounces of tomato sauce. And to this, I'm also going to add another cup of chicken stock. I chopped up 1 large potato into tiny little cube pieces. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add my, where's that little packet of sofrito? I mean, not sofrito, of sazon. I'm going to add the rest of the packet of this sazon, which was probably about 1/4 of a packet. And the Spanish olives, you can leave the olives out if you don't like the olives, but what I do recommend, if you're not going to add the olives to it, is add a little bit of the olive juice that's in the jar. Trust me, it really does make a difference. Give it a little swirl of that juice. Maybe a tablespoon of that juice. Oh, it gives it a nice flavor. Now I'm going to add my sofrito. Out. I need a tablespoon. Now this has got all your delicious flavors. I probably added about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of the sofrito. I'm going to give this a taste for my salt and pepper. Okay, definitely salt. Wow, you can taste the garlic. Woohoo! That's fantastic. And my pepper. Salt and pepper, like I said, are to taste. And I don't think I left anything out, did I? Nope. Okay, this is going to go on a slow simmer for about 20-25 minutes on low. Occasionally give it a stir, and so you can see how it's coming out, and give it a taste in between the time that it's cooking to the time that it's done, so you know whether to adjust your flavors. When we come back, we're going to be frying up our pork chops, making some white rice on the side, and we're going to have pork chops with rice and beans. Yeah! Okay, everyone. Beans are done. I got some white rice here that I cooked up earlier. I did add a little bit, about a little more than a teaspoon of bacon grease. to this beans. Yeah. I'm heating up the oil right now. I just hit my pork chops with a little bit of salt on the outside, so we're going to get them fried up. We want them nice and crispy on the outside. So I'm going to stick these in the oil. I hope they both fit. Let me put this way. There we go. Nice. We want to make sure the pork chops are cooked through. Get them to about 165 degrees in the center. These are fairly thick, so I think I'm going to do about 7 minutes or so on each side. So I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes. And then we'll put this together. It should be fantastic. Oh, I can't wait because I'm so hungry right now. Pork chops are done. Just pulled them out. There was one actually that was thinner. This one is quite a bit thicker, so this one was the full 7 minutes on each side. This one a little bit less, but you want to get that nice crispy crust on the outside. And what helps with that is right before you put it in the pan, hit it with some coarse kosher salt. That helps on both sides. Now, like I said, I got my beans in here that have been cooking. You want to make sure with the beans, you got all your flavors in there. So the only thing you're doing here is letting all those flavors combine, and also you want those potatoes cooked through, even though we cut them in small pieces. So we're going to get this plated up, and I'm going to do my favorite part. Yes! Oh, I haven't had this in such a long time. I can't wait. Okay, so I'm so excited I don't know where to start. Alright, I'm going to put a little rice on my dish. A little bit of beans. Look at how beautiful that is. Yes! And like I said, you don't have to use the green olives if you don't want to, but I highly recommend the juice that's in that jar. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Take one of these delicious pork chops right on the plate. Tiny kitchen. Tiny kitchen. Okay, I need a knife because I want to taste everything. Pork chop nice and crispy, and because we did that little bit of a marinade, you know they're not going to be dry. That's delicious. All the flavors are there. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Wow, I feel like I'm back in Puerto Rico again, which I actually booked for this coming June to go back because I can't wait. Anyway, listen, if you have any questions about this recipe, shoot me a message. I'll answer anything. Don't feel bad if you don't have the sofrito in the jar. You can makeshift it as long as you got your basic flavors there, as long as you have your garlic, as long as you have your peppers, you'll do fine with the sofrito. It's really important to have that garlic though. Most Spanish cooking, or even Italian cooking, a lot of garlic. No vampires. And the beans, you can buy the canned beans, you can buy the dry beans and soak them overnight. But if you do that, it's going to add to your cooking time because you want them al dente, but you know, you want a little bit of that snap to them. But it's still going to add an extra hour to when you're making your beans, so keep that in mind. And rice is the same, plain white rice, whatever you like. I just salted the water and I put a little pat of butter in there, stirred it up, brought it to a boil, turned it down, let it go for 20 minutes, and I got beautiful rice. Alright everyone, I hope you really enjoy this because I know I'm about to. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching my videos. Please like and share with your friends, and subscribe and have them subscribe too. Till next time, everyone. Ciao.